everybody, welcome to Storm Talk. Brian Good here. A lot to cover, but we'll go fairly quick. It's Friday, right? You don't want to sit here and listen to me talk about the weather. You want to get there and enjoy it. And it looks really good outside at the moment. We've had a bit of haze and fog this morning, especially in the river valleys. The radar looks like it's showing rain. It's not. All right, we're nice and quiet. We've got a few high-level clouds streaming overhead. But the weather pattern is stuck. Nothing's moving really anywhere. So because of that, you have several things that happen. First off, in the city of Louisville, we got the poor air quality issue. That's why we have an air quality alert today. You also develop fog in valleys and riverbank areas. That's what you see in the visible satellite from space. Still some fog out there in the northern part of the Smokies. And then you deal on the humid side of the setup, downpours that don't move. And flash flooding has been a big problem in Mississippi this morning. So it's a pattern. It's locked in. It's not going to change until something moves into the area to change it. And that'll be our system for Sunday. So really between now and then, not much is going to happen. Severe threat today, way to our north, not a big deal. And you can see where the moisture content, it's surrounding us, really. It's crazy how it works out. And even as we head into tomorrow, all this deep moisture across areas of Missouri, north of St. Louis, it is actually going to go right into Ohio. And therefore, we're going to have a dry patch like we have now right over us, and then moisture kind of surround us in a loop. So the donut hole effect in a different way compared to the winter time. So this is a good thing. This is going to allow for a fairly dry start to the weekend. So here are the models. It shows dry weather for Saturday. We're going to heat things up, 85 to 90. Now, notice the thunderstorm risk here on Sunday begins to develop in our southern counties. We'll show you why that looks to be the case in a second. Then as we into Sunday night, we get a couple little areas of showers and thunderstorms to rotate in from the north with the front itself. And the front may not clear until Monday night now. So the delay is there into us getting into the humid atmosphere. The delay is there for us to getting to the thunderstorm chance, but the delay is also there in us getting out of it once we get into it. And that's why we're extending the rain chance into Monday night. And hopefully we can keep Tuesday out of the zone here as long as this can speed up a bit more. So it's something we'll be monitoring. But it looks like it'll come in waves. Now, the rain chance is, I kept it at 40% for now. I'm sure when Kevin and Ryan get in, they'll be able to adjust that a little more higher or lower in different parts of the day. But there's just so many different waves coming through, it's really hard to pinpoint this early. But at least we don't have to have a huge concern about severe weather, because the wind field, the best wind field, as you can see, they're up there in Indiana, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. And that's where they have a outlook for marginal risk already out for Sunday. Can't roll out an isolated warning in our area. I'm not saying that's not going to happen. It just means that, are we going to get 10 to 15 warnings and a watch box issued? Unlikely, very unlikely. But a warning or two, you can't roll it out. And it's kind of said, there's so much humidity at play, it'll be certainly a factor. But here's the reason why I think the placement's going to be varying here with this thunderstorm setup. Here is the PWatts, precipitable water, humidity basically, in the atmosphere. As we head into Sunday afternoon, notice concentrated area of higher moisture, mainly southern Kentucky, and that's where I think the storms will pop. Southern Indiana and perhaps down to 64 will likely avoid the rain most of the day, the way it appears now, on Sunday. But our southern counties maybe not so lucky. As we into Sunday night, still the same deal. Thunderstorm chance mainly central and southern Kentucky. But then the front itself begins to ignite some thunderstorms. And we'll be watching those during the overnight as they'll be working their way to the south. And even on Monday itself, the two areas kind of merge together, if you will. You got the deeper moisture that was already there, and then you get the front colliding into it, kind of merging into one. So it'll be clusters of thunderstorms as we head into Monday itself. So we'll be adjusting rain chances. I'm sure we'll be raising them. It's just a matter of when do we raise them, which part and which areas, and that again will likely vary depending on where you are within our 29 counties. So stay tuned for updates on that. Then when the low moves out of here, we're not entirely done with it. There's still some debate on how much of the influence the upper low portion of this will have in throwing back some cloud cover and maybe some showers in the area, because it is going to allow for a cooler flow in the 70s. The Euro is not too excited about it. It wants to move that out of here, and we recover nicely. GFS and even the Canadian, to an extent, kind of linger around that chance for a shower, mainly eastern Kentucky, some cloud cover at time. I kept the rain chance out today at this point. I think the Euro is probably onto a better idea of it being more east, but it may not be as far east as the Euro says. So I'm going to account for cloud cover to increase, but I'll keep the rain part of it out for now. We'll see how it trends. And then we have another front that'll move in about a week from today. It will arrive with a few showers and thunderstorms with it, and only a brief cool down, because see how that heat building out here? Yep, it's heading our way. Here's the latest look at some of the ensembles and the models here as we hit to about the 11th and 12th of June, that following weekend. You can see the heat building in the southeast corner of the country. Euro and GFS agree on that. The ensembles, to an extent, agree on it, but operationals are on board for sure with the potential for heat. Now, the GFS is a little more angled here with the trough in the west. So it's really aggressive for the heat. I think the last model I saw, the GFS, is trying to implement potential for about 95 degrees. That's way too high. I don't see it getting that hot. And then as we head toward the middle portion of the month, say the 15th, Euro is trying to keep the heat intact here. But the GFS is trying to roll another little bowling ball low into the area. We'll see how that plays out, if they can knock the heat down temporarily. And I think it will be temporarily. I think it will be building back in after that point. But we'll see how it plays out. I promise you guys I will talk about the very long-term Euro that came out last night. You can see the cool weather moving in as we head into early next week. And then as we head toward the middle of the month, you see the balancing act here of the heat being in the gray area, the dark reds and gray, and then the yellow being some cooler air. You can see the battle that the models are having. These are different model ideas, and you can see how many model ideas there are. So there's still a battle here for the middle of the month on whether or not we'll have a bowling ball low come through or the heat will stay dominant. But look at the trend for July that's showing up. A lot of the gray boxes are there. A lot of the different models are indicating we may see some heat really take hold into the new month ahead, into July. We shall see if that happens or not. Enjoy the quiet weather the next couple of days. It's going to be really nice.